Welcome to School's Out 80s Comedy Story Time.
Hey everybody, welcome to School's Out 80s Comedy Story Time. Really excited to be back again. Here we are, the month of June, going to kick off things with a lot of fun. Coming to us all the way from right now, she's in Oregon, but she's from Northern California, Jennifer Carrasco. Say hi to everybody, School's Out 80s.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Awesome. Jennifer, so glad to have you on. We're going to have a lot of fun today. Hopefully, take people back to the 80s. Understand you were a little younger in the 80s, which is fine because, we're all jealous of you that weren't younger in the 80s. But, just want to hear from you. When you think back to the 80s, particularly, we talked before and you mentioned Madonna. Anything about Madonna that you remember that just kind of sticks in your mind?
Yeah, so honestly, as a little girl, I loved Madonna.
Okay.
Loved her. And I went to her concert when she was going out with Like a Virgin. I think it was Like a Virgin. I don't remember.
Oh, wow.
It was one of those concerts. And so my mom, we went shopping and I bought literally like the frilly foo-foo, like, you know what I mean? Like the little skirt.
Yeah.
And the shirt that matched, and we did my hair, and we had the big ass bow, or
That is
all of
so
that.
cool.
And yeah, I remember. I think I was in, I don't know, 5th grade, 6th grade, something like that. And it has to be younger than that. But anyway,
Okay.
regardless, it's a blur. But I got on the news channel.
Wow.
They interviewed me on the news channel going in to the concert. Now, here my mom, right?
Yeah.
Takes her little girl to this concert, and Madonna is literally like stripping naked on the bed, rubbing herself on the bed. You know what I mean? And it's like, I loved her.
Yeah.
Loved her. And yeah, loved her. Her, Paula Abdul, and then who else was it? It was Cyndi Lauper. Cyndi Lauper. Who doesn't love Cyndi Lauper?
Oh, really? All at the same concert?
No. I'm just saying in general, I love them, but no. I went to that concert, but I have a funny story with that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So my mom and my grandma were always into dressing me up, right? Like not like the crazy makeup where you see all these girls looking like, not that. Okay. But they signed me up for this beauty pageant, right? And lo and behold, we didn't know that it was like a Christian beauty pageant. So this is the funniest thing.
Yeah.
So my grandma was like, okay, well, what do you want to do for the talent part? And I'm like, well, I'm gonna dance to Madonna. Right?
Right.
Yeah. So it was a Christian beauty pageant that we did not know. And here, this little girl is dancing full throttle to Madonna, exactly how Madonna would dance.
Oh my God, that is good. That's funny.
Yeah. I didn't place, by the way.
I bet not. So did they like grab you off the stage or what?
No, they let me do the routine.
They let you do it?
They did, but I mean,
that's good.
All the looks that my mom and my grandma got afterwards were pretty hilarious.
That is funny.
But it didn't even fathom me. It didn't even dawn on me that it was wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was just being me. But
how would you know?
I was.
You're way too young to know that was wrong. You wouldn't even even if they explained it to you, you wouldn't have probably understood it at that age.
Yeah. No. But I remember just even being that age, and I think it was Flashdance that was out.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember just dancing all over the room, with the mirrors so you could see yourself dancing like Flashdance. And that was me.
That's awesome. Good for your mom. Your mom sounds so cool.
Sometimes.
I mean, to take you to Madonna, like my
Oh
parents
yeah,
were
yeah.
so like not cool.
Really?
I loved them, but they weren't cool
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
no. I would do that. I did that for my son too. So my son, when
Uh-huh.
he was little,
Yeah.
he was really in. So I love. I don't know if you know the band Social Distortion.
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'm a Social Distortion freak. Like I love Mike Ness. I mean, that's just my jam. Love them.
Right, right.
And so my son loved him as well. And so when he was younger, what we did is we took his hair and shaved it, and literally it was probably this high off his head. We did a full on mohawk,
Yeah.
and I would flat iron it up, like literally. I mean, it was. We had so much fun with that kid when he was little. Yeah. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
but
I love
he
stories
he
like that.
met Mike Ness on stage. I took him to go see Social Distortion, and they pulled him up on stage.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I saw the picture of it, and then I have a little pic that they gave him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Good for
So
your son.
yeah,
That is so
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah.
That is very, very cool. Okay, so they had you at a Christian. So was there any big stink about it? Like you get off stage, was anything said to your mom or anything about it?
I don't remember because I was so young, but I remember my mom saying it was pretty like kind of embarrassing because she didn't realize like
Yeah,
how Christian it was.
right.
But I remember looking at all the girls, and I mean, they had like full blown makeup on. I mean, they
Right.
had all of that. And we never did that.
Oh
You
wow.
know, I think I had a little bit of mascara or something like that on, but I was not, no,
Okay.
what's her name? JonBenet Ramsey or whatever.
Yes, yes, yes. That's wild. So you'd love this being a huge Madonna fan. So I had a guest on. He's actually from Corona, New York,
Okay.
in Queens. His name's Sal Ranella. He'll listen to this because he's a friend of mine. All my friends listen to my podcast. But Sal, when he was 13 years old, his house in Corona was like right here. And when Madonna moved from like the Detroit area to the New York area, she lived with these gentlemen inside of like this old synagogue kind of. It
Hmm.
was like a synagogue where they taught. It was like a synagogue slash school. Anyway, she was living there with this band at the time called the Breakfast Club. So my buddy
Oh,
Sal's
I know who they are.
here, and Madonna's here, and and I was in New York last summer around this time. I saw her house and I saw Sal's house. So wild. I had seen the documentary on MTV years ago or VH1
Hmm.
or whatever it was, and I was like, man, that's it. And he said that Madonna would just be like traipsing her. She was trying to figure her like whole shtick out back then, and he would see her on the street. And at the time, he was like 13 years old. His buddy's like, "Hey, I understand Madonna." They already were calling her Madonna. I understand Madonna's looking for a bass player. You're a bass player. He's like 13 years old, right? Can you imagine? I mean, that's just
Oh
like
no,
so wild.
yeah. And that woman does not age at all,
Yeah.
right?
She is a genius. I mean, I got so much respect for Madonna. She is just a business genius,
Hmm.
and she just completely reinvents herself all the time.
Yep, she
But
does.
we're here to talk comedy, but I thought that was kind of
Okay.
interesting anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take. Okay, so you're in grade school. Anything really embarrassing happening when you were in grade school that you can think of that was funny, or
I
it doesn't
do.
have to be you? It could be one of your friends.
No, it was me. So
Okay.
I'm sure many of us know this, and this is probably, well, girls, I should say. Maybe not boys at that age or
Yeah,
men,
yeah,
but
yeah.
women, right? Like at that age, it's a big thing to like have your period,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Or have boobs, right? I remember at that age, like it meant something. Like if you could wear a sports bra and you had boobs, or have
Right.
your period, or whatever it is. So, my girlfriend, I think we were in like 5th grade, and she's like, I stuff my bra. And I'm like, you do? She's like, yeah. Yeah. We use like cotton pads and we stuff our
Okay.
bra.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, okay. So then I tried it. And I remember I don't remember where I was, but I remember like pulling it off, and I was with a girlfriend and I forgot I did it. And then they all got together like, "Oh my God, Jen stuffed her bra." And that was like the biggest thing
Oh,
in, I think it was 5th or 6th grade. I don't know. Anyway, as a
so
girl,
you got
pretty
busted.
funny. Mhm.
Okay, got it. Okay, so now let's take you to high school. So I imagine like you probably went to some dances and stuff. Like anything funny happen in high school that you'd like to share with us?
High school was that, honestly, I did not want to be there.
Oh, really? Okay.
I never wanted to be in high school.
Okay.
I would cut all the time. I was just not, I was not a school person.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
No, no.
Did you feel like you were confined? Like they were trying to like mold you and you didn't want to be like, did you feel like you were incarcerated? Is that what was going on?
No, I just felt like I had better things to do. It was kind of like, you know what? Okay. It's almost like our brain sometimes thinks like, okay, we're going to take the things that really matter and the things that don't matter. And I think each one of us have those different aspects of what we're going to gather in our brain, right?
Right.
So
Right.
for me, it's kind of like I took what I needed, and then the other stuff is like, okay, I'm done. I don't need to be here anymore. So I got in trouble all the time because I would never be in class. I would cut to go eat. I mean, I never was in there ever. And
And you went to high school in California?
I did.
What
Yeah, I
part?
did. I was in, so NorCal area, but I was near Brentwood, Oakley, Antioch area, if anybody
Okay.
knew where that is.
Okay.
Yeah, but I got kicked out of my mom's house because I cut school too much. She shipped me to my dad's.
Oh, okay. Okay. Got you.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. That's interesting. So you
yep.
cut a lot. So, I mean, you were early on in high school, you can't drive. So how did you cut? Did you just walk home?
Yeah, I just leave campus.
Okay.
I take the bus and leave campus and go to Burger King or wherever and eat.
I got you. I got you. I was a little more of a conformist. I was like a respectful rebel is how I always refer to
Okay.
myself because like as soon as I could drive, my friends and I, we were out drinking, and as soon as football was over, you know, we didn't have to practice or anything. Football season was over, so we just spent a ton of time having fun. And so, like the girls would have their volleyball games or whatever, and be like, "Hey, let's get a 12 pack and go watch the girls play volleyball." Everything
Yeah,
was let's go watch the girls play. So, like, oh, the girls are playing basketball. Let's go watch the girls play basketball. By the way, let's pick up a 12 pack. You know,
that's it.
but I
That's
didn't
a boy thing.
cut, but I was extremely late, and I slept a lot when I was in high school. And and because I was extremely late, I had my own book of tardy slips that I got one day because the lady that wrote the tardy slips was the same lady. I went to a Catholic high school, and her name was like Sister Everetta, and so Sister Everetta was getting me mine, and she was going. And while she did it, I grabbed a bunch of hers, put them in my pocket, and she was so old that she just like scribbled her name. You couldn't even like really. And so I just learned to scribble her name. Went into art class. That was my first class of the my senior year. Was late every single like 30 minutes late. Came in, presented, no problem until one time somebody else came in and the teacher compared the signatures.
Oh,
Busted. And like anything else, I'm like, you know, probability wise, I knew I was going to get busted. I didn't know when I was going to get busted, but the more you do something, the more the likelihood is you're going to get
yeah,
busted.
yeah.
And so I was like, I'm okay. I mean, I have like had the best senior year so far. So like, if you're going to reprimand, so what are you going to do? Give me a detention? Okay, give me a detention. I could care less. I'm a senior. But anyway, that's funny though. So okay, so then you're driving. So were you able to like go to the beach then?
No, I was never really that smart to go far.
Mm-hmm.
I would just literally, and I don't want to say smart. I mean, I don't know. I just didn't think of it. It was just kind of like,
Yeah,
I don't
you
want to
just
go.
wanted
I don't
out.
want to be there. I just don't. Yeah, I didn't
Did
want
any
to
of
be
your
there.
friends cut with you? Did like you guys cut together and go to the mall or anything?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. All the time. All the
Okay,
time. Yeah.
that's hilarious. So
Yeah.
you obviously, you got in trouble, right? They found out you were cutting.
Hmm. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Did they make you go to summer school? What did they do?
I had to go to one summer school for, yeah, for about 3 months. I was pretty, actually, no, now that I think about it, I went to summer school every single year, but I did it on the purpose that I wanted to graduate early because I didn't want to be there anymore.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, but no, I did. But the thing is that if you look at it, John,
Yeah.
all of the people that are great entrepreneurs, great like manifestors, just make stuff happen in life. Those
Right.
are the people that you hear that they didn't want to be there. They were never there. They would, you know what I mean? And so when people see that with their kids, like they should appreciate it and like push it in a different direction for them, right? So like motivate them to get them going. And a lot of them just, are they tackle down on them that they're doing the wrong thing. They're just not
You know,
manifested in the right
yeah,
direction.
it's too bad that people do that, but like I'm raising Nikki 6, so I can't do that. So my son's a professional tattoo artist.
Yeah.
And but I'm with you. Yeah, you got to give kids room to breathe. And
Yeah.
any entrepreneur I've ever worked for, total rebel.
Mhm.
You're like, hey, we're going to a business meeting. Everybody's going to be in slacks. And I go over it with them and over it with them and over with them. Like, this is like a Fortune 500, Fortune 100 company. And he shows up in his khaki shorts because he was in the boating business. And so that was his like uniform for years, was a golf shirt, khaki shorts, topsiders. Comes to a meeting, major corporation here in Dallas, Mary Kay Cosmetics, khakis,
Yeah.
golf shirt, and topsiders. I was so embarrassed.
That's
But
right.
we made it work.
Yeah. At least he didn't come in with like tie-dye stretch pants or something. So you're good on that one.
Oh, he's too big of a country boy for that. But yeah.
There you go.
So that's cool. Okay. So you're real similar to my co-host Dawn, who's a realtor.
Okay.
So Dawn cut class a bunch, and she's a huge entrepreneur here in Dallas, but she cut class a bunch her senior year. Okay, so take us like past, like what did you do when you got out of high school? Because you got out of high school early. What did you pursue after that? Or any funny stories you have along the way?
I just did not want to be like solid down. Like I just, even my parents, it was like, you tell me I'm going to do something, I'm going to do the complete opposite. And I wasn't bad. Like I wasn't into drugs. I wasn't into any of that. It was just, I wanted to be Jen. And no, when I graduated high school, I started working at a mall.
Okay.
And I was really, really into what was it, like the, not hillbilly, but like the 50s scene, with like the rockabilly kind of, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was really into that. And then I met this man when I was working at the mall, and I was like, hey, he's really good looking. And he's kind of up my alley. And he thought the same thing. And so we got together, and 3 months after we were together, we got married.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we got married. And then a month after we got married, I got pregnant.
Okay. Got you.
So I literally went straight into being a mom right after I graduated high school.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you had to get real mature real quick.
Yeah.
So along the way, you're raising your son. At that point, you're married. Anything that you can think of, like especially like raising your son as a baby or a toddler, that's like really cute or funny that would be good to talk about?
Yeah. So he was my Spiderman. So we dressed him up like Spiderman. He loved he was always into Spiderman. So he would not take off the Spiderman outfit ever.
Oh, wow.
Ever.
Okay.
I would try to take him off and he would scream. I mean, that boy literally split the pants of the Spider-Man suit over and over, and I had to sew it up each time. And we would go into the stores, like say for instance, like Target, we would go into Target and he would walk around and just go whoosh, 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 like attacking people. and he would run around with his Spiderman, and he would hide under the stuff, and it was like it was
Oh, that's
hilarious.
funny.
It was the funniest thing ever. But
Oh,
I
that's good.
still have that outfit today.
Uh-huh.
But that was the best time ever. I loved being a
Oh,
mom at that
wow.
time.
So
I
that's
know.
so like Spider-Man, you can't even see his face because he had the whole get up on, right?
Mhm.
So like they didn't even know what he looked like. Okay.
Yeah, he would wear it under. So he went to a Christian school,
Uh-huh.
and they wouldn't let him wear the costume to school. So we would
Uh-huh.
put his costume under his clothes, and then that way he would lightly, like lift it up and goes, "Mom, I'm
Yeah,
Spider-Man, but shh, don't tell anybody when we're at school." And I'm like, "Yeah, we're not going to say anything."
that's amazing.
Yeah, I do
That's
have a great story
yeah, go ahead.
about him.
Okay.
So he was in preschool, and it was at the Christian school,
Hmm.
and I always taught him from an early age that if we're outside doing something and has to go pee, he just goes to the corner and whips it out and goes pee, right? He
Okay.
doesn't have to go in the house.
Yep.
And I said, God gifted you that, so you can, you can
Okay.
go.
All right.
And he was outside playing in school.
Yes.
Uh, and this is preschool, not kindergarten, preschool. And oh yeah, he just whipped it out. Hmm.
Oh, at
And
preschool.
hmm and went
Oh,
to the
that's
tree
funny.
and whipped it out to go.
So
He
did you get called or anything, or was it not a big deal?
It wasn't a big deal. So
Okay.
when I picked him up later, she was like, we had a conversation because he can't do that here. And I was like, oh, yeah, I taught him that he could do that outside
That's
wherever.
really funny. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're a cool mom. You had a cool mom. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk dating. So, any funny blind dates you can think of back to either like high school or after high school?
No, I didn't go on. Oh, no, I did go
No?
on one blind date, but it wasn't really funny. He was just, I got set
No.
up with this guy who was pretty wealthy in a
Hmm.
country club. And I can fit in with the high end people, don't get me wrong.
Okay.
Um, but I don't conform. Just like you were saying about your friend that wears the khakis and goes to,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's kind of who I am.
Okay.
So trying to merge myself into this country club setting,
Okay.
and yeah, it wasn't me. It was impossible. It was just like, this is not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't a funny thing, but I'm not your typical girl that cares about that as much, I should say. I don't
Right,
give a shit what
right.
you have.
Okay, okay. What about any dates that were like maybe something interesting happened? Like, doesn't have to be a blind date, maybe even just like a date where you're like, wow, I can't believe that just happened. Anything that you can share? Politically correct, maybe? Or
Yeah, politically correct, right? I'm not a big dater. I wasn't a
okay,
big dater. So, I mean,
okay.
I can think of circumstances, but they're not funny.
Oh, they're not. Okay, no worries, no
No,
worries.
I
All
was
good,
boring.
all good.
I was boring. I was a
It's all
mom.
good. And you've been in the skincare business. You've been in the electrical contracting business. Um, I gotta believe, like, especially in the skincare business, that you've run into some problem clients over the years where that's kind of had to been a little, probably not funny at the time, but looking back, something funny probably happened. Is that right?
Oh gosh. Oh, I do have one story with that. So it was
Yeah,
when I
go ahead.
was first starting, and I was waxing eyebrows,
Okay.
and everybody has to get that just one client out of the way. Well, I took off part of her eyebrow
Oh,
because I was just starting. And so she had like a half of an eyebrow.
okay.
And so I said to her, I was like, well, I have some good news and I have some bad news today. And
Okay.
she's like, yeah. And I'm all, well, good news is you're going home with an eyebrow pencil, like a beautiful pencil. It's going to be amazing. But the bad news is you lost half of your eyebrow.
Did she take it well?
She was actually really good. And you know what? She's been my client for 23 years still.
Oh, wow.
She was phenomenal.
So
But
she's good course.
I couldn't even imagine having a client that would have lost her shit on me.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that would have been really hard. So
Yeah. And do you guys like in Botox? Is that something you guys do in the clinics or no?
so yes, we did. I don't do it anymore, but we did. But we
Okay.
did back when I had my first spa. It was like a big spa, and we did full body waxing, facials, massage, hair. I mean, we
Oh
did
wow.
it all. Yeah, we did it all. And then I merged probably about 8, 9 years after to a med spa. So then that's
Okay.
when we did all the Botox and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you see these movies where these people do Botox. Is that just exaggerated and they're just like, their faces are, all
So
swollen?
you could be frozen or you could be partially movable. So if you look at me, I'm partially movable.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not frozen.
Right.
But sometimes women would come in and just say, I want to be completely frozen.
Oh
I
wow.
don't even want to be able to move. And then you don't know if they're smiling, if they're mad, if they're, you don't know
That's
what's happening with them,
interesting.
right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
But I
That's
know that, like, in the movies, they
uh-huh.
started putting in contracts that if you were going to come into the movies and you were going to get Botox, it could only be partially because people wanted to see your reactions in the movies and the TV
Oh
shows.
yeah. Yeah, like
Hmm.
if you're an actor or actress, you can
Hmm.
only do partial Botox. That makes
Yep.
sense.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, just seeing Tom Cruise recently in the Top Gun movie. Did you watch
Did you
that?
like it? I haven't
The
watched
first
it
one?
yet. Did you like it?
Yeah, I won't ruin it for you, but did you see the first one a bunch when you were a little girl?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That was the go-to
Absolutely.
movie.
Yeah.
Girls loved it because of the love story. Guys loved it because of the jets.
Hmm.
When I watch it now, I just flip through all the dialogue and everything, and I just want to watch the jets take off and land.
Yeah. It's the guy thing.
It is.
Yep.
It is. Oh, the new one has really good jets taking off and landing. It's so cool. So cool.
Yeah. We'll probably go see it tomorrow, I think.
Okay. Okay. It's
Yeah.
wild because Tom Cruise looks good, but he also looks like he's older. But he doesn't look like he's 59, right?
I know.
Like I met
Isn't
a
that
joke.
crazy?
It's wild. Like
I know.
apparently Scientology is good for the complexion.
Yeah, it's a lot of Botox, a lot of
Oh
stuff.
yeah. And that hair, I'm sorry. That hair cannot be real. He and John Travolta are like going to the same people. And it's amazing hair. I wish I had it, but it's not real. No way.
So they're doing implants now.
Yeah.
My good friend does them, and what they do is they like put the implants in, and then it's almost, we call it like a chichilla, right?
Hmm.
Because it slowly starts to grow in,
Oh
and it's
wow.
actually your hair.
Okay.
And then yeah, I've had I think about 3 or 4 friends that have done it.
Hmm.
Looks phenomenal.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well,
Yeah.
he's definitely got the bucks to have whatever hairdo
Yeah.
he wants.
Yep.
I always thought John Travolta had the best hair, and then to find out he's completely bald, it was comforting and a horror story all at the same time. But I get it. Like I work with, I don't know, it's been a while since we don't work out of the office anymore, but probably 300 to 400 men. There are some women
Yeah.
too, but like a lot of men. And so what I notice is blonde hair guys tend to lose their hair the most and go bald the quickest. And by 30, most guys are showing some type of baldness.
Yep. Yep.
And by 40, the real bald guys are coming out.
Yeah.
And if you still got your hair by 50, you're probably not going to go bald.
Yeah.
There's my hair story. So that's my contribution.
Is that why you're wearing your hat?
Well, not completely. I have, partial hair.
There you go.
The hat is more the marketing.
Yeah,
And
I like
me
it.
too. I have a grandson, and the whole thing was, you know what? I'm going to get a cowboy hat. So when my grandson comes over to the house, he'll be able to differentiate between me and the other granddad. I'm the granddad with the black cowboy hat.
There you go.
Period.
I like it.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. And I love hats. Like I'm an
Yep.
outdoors person, so like I wear a hat when we boat, I wear a hat when we camp, I wear a hat when we hike. They're all different hats. When it's cold out here in Dallas, I wear a hat. And
I
when I
like
do the
it.
podcast, I wear the cowboy hat.
Nice. It suits
Kind
you.
of,
I like it.
yeah, thank you. Kind of fun, kind of fun. Okay, well, let's. I know we want to promote your business and your business endeavors and things like that. So definitely want to give you anything else you can think of, like anecdotally, that might be funny to share with folks that maybe I didn't touch on. Any like concerts or anything like that you went. I know you mentioned Madonna, but anything like where all you and your girlfriends went, and just like one of your girlfriends maybe didn't have anything that you could share, slightly shocking yet politically correct.
Slightly shocked. Honestly,
Lightly shocking but politically correct.
well, we have to keep it that way this day and age, right?
I know.
I'm keeping my mouth shut. So I'm different, I guess. I never was like a partier. I never was one to go
Okay.
out. I was never one to do anything crazy, but
Mhm.
I was a mom. So I had my son,
Yeah.
and then I got married into my second marriage, and he had 2 kids.
Oh,
And
okay.
so I raised like another 2 kids. So
Oh, wow.
but my first marriage, he had a daughter too. So I was kind of like the mom
So you've
that
been a
only
mom a
birthed
really long
one.
time.
Yeah, that only birthed one, but had like
Mhm.
3 other.
Yeah.
So even now, like now that I'm divorced, I still have my stepdaughter and I still have my stepson
Okay.
and then my son. So I just was one that I was always with the kids, like always taking them places, always
Okay.
going to
I got you.
Tahoe, always go like just constantly busy. My son was though. This is a funny story.
Okay.
He's very much like his mama.
Okay.
But he was a professional scooter rider when he was in high school.
Oh, wow.
And so he was the one that you would see ride like the razor scooters and then do the flips.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this kid, he called me. He was in Napa, which was like 40 minutes from where I was at with a bunch of kids. And he's
Okay.
like, somebody else called me and they're like, hey, we're taking him to the hospital. He just like broke his ankle or his foot or whatever. And I was
Okay.
like, great. So I'm 3 weeks into my show prep, right?
Yeah.
And show prep, if you know, for like a bodybuilder,
Yeah.
is like you wake up every day, you're doing 45 minutes of cardio, workout, barely eating. I think I was down to like probably 8% body fat at that point.
Wow.
And I get this call. So I go to the hospital. This kid broke, here's your foot. This kid broke every single bone down, fractured it all the way down, and his ankle.
Wow.
Right?
Poor kid.
Yeah. So he couldn't go back to school because he had to stay at home.
Yeah.
And so here I am working a med spa.
Yeah.
Getting ready for a show, having to wake up every 3 hours to give my son like medicine because he's in so much pain. So anyway, this kid has a pin in his foot. So what they do is they put a pin in it.
Uh-huh.
So then that way the bone grows back together.
Okay.
And then the pin starts growing out of the foot as the bone starts coming together again. Right?
Interesting.
So I'm going to kill this kid. I bought him one of those knee pad scooters for his foot. So this is probably, I don't know, 3 weeks that he's been home now. I go to work and he's like, hey mom, I went to the skate park just to hang out with friends. Can you pick me up on your way home from work?
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, no problem. I drive in, not telling him I'm coming to pick him up. This kid is on the ramp going down the freaking scooter on the knee pad thing. You know, like that scooter. Thing. Yes.
Oh my God.
With a pin in his foot. With a pin in his foot. And he's trying to do jumps. And I'm like, what is wrong with you, kid? Yeah, that was my life. God. My son, my stepson, they were both like that. Yes.
Wow. You're raising a little evil Knievel there.
And then he would say to me all the time, because when I would drop him off at the skate park, all his friends would be like, "Hi, Miss Carrasco," right? And so he would tell me, "You need to pick me up around the corner now because I do not want my friends coming and talking to you. They do not need to talk to you."
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It was
wow.
funny.
That is, I mean, you buy him a medical device so that he can just get around the house,
Mhm.
and he
Yeah.
and he and he wants to daredevil in it.
Mhm.
And even though he just hurt himself, like
Mhm.
that didn't stick with him. That like, hey, you just. So I gotta
He's a
understand.
boy. Their
Yeah,
brains
yeah,
don't work
no,
that.
yeah, I get it. So I got a question. So that's a pretty extensive break that he had. So how did he manage that? What was he doing when that happened?
Oh, what do you mean doing what?
Well,
Like,
like he was on his scooter. Did he fall off a wall and land on his
no.
foot?
So he was, I don't know what type of trick he was doing, but he was trying to land it. And what happened is he had shoes that were higher up. And so when he landed it, it like tweaked his foot. And so it cracked a little bit of his ankle, but then the toes got stuck somewhere and then it busted out all of his toes at the same time.
Ooh,
Yeah. Yeah. He's had a broken hand, a broken wrist. I swear I took that kid to get x-rays, I'm sure, every 6 to 8 months.
wow,
Mhm,
wow.
mhm.
I just
Oh, he's
read
gonna hate
Steve-O.
life when he gets older.
What's that?
He's gonna hate life when he gets older. It's gonna hurt his whole body.
I'll tell you, I
Yeah.
can relate. Yeah, I played football, and at some point, you're in the orthopedic surgeon's office.
Mhm,
At some point,
mhm,
but you know, Steve-O, I read his biography,
mhm,
Jennifer, and talk about a crazy, crazy dude. He was living, I think, in Arizona, like the Phoenix area, and he talked one of his friends into taking him by car to this apartment complex so he could do a full flip off the apartment complex and land in the swimming pool underneath, like at the very top of this 8-story apartment complex. That blows my mind, you know. Like somebody would think that that would be a good idea, but you know, he's world famous, so he knows something I don't.
No, he doesn't. He just
He's
pushes
been
it to the
lucky.
limits.
He's been very, 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 very
Yes,
lucky.
he has. Yes. But have you watched some of those? I'm like, really? I would never do that.
Oh, the stuff they do. Like I was around kids like that as a young, like friends of mine would do stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
friends of mine, we would go because we were country boys, so we'd go to the river and be like, "Hey, John," and I was the one that wasn't going to do the stupid stuff. I was trying to stay alive, but my friend would be like, "Hey, can you hold the flashlight? I'm going to rope swing into the river and do a backflip." And the reason I need you to hold the flashlight is because there's rocks on the other side. And if I don't let go properly, I'm going to come back in and hit the rocks. And so I'm like holding the flashlight like this. Because my friend, I mean, the stuff we did, the stuff they did, I was just, I was just there to watch. Funny stuff, funny stuff. Well,
That's so
good for your
funny.
son. That kid could write a book. It sounds like.
Yeah, I know. We should. Well, maybe one day. We'll see.
Yeah. How old's it? How old's your? How old's his son?
My son's 22. Yeah.
Okay, same age as mine. Okay,
Hmm.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, if your son needs a tattoo, come to Dallas. We'll hook
Oh,
him up.
that kid, he tattooed himself. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
understand. Well, Jennifer, I want to give you time to like promote your business. This is the
Oh,
time of the
absolutely.
show where we promote. So
Okay.
go ahead and just tell everybody like what you do and what you're promoting, any websites or anything you want to share. Then send it to me. I'll put it in the show notes. I'll just be
Sure.
quiet. The stage is yours.
Okay. So, being in the skincare industry for 23 years, I created a brand online, and it's actually pharmaceutical grade products. So they treat a lot of like acne, hyperpigmentation, things like that. But I created that line. It's online. It's called V Skincare.
Hmm.
Um, I've had that for about 17 years now.
Oh, wow.
And then with that and launching, I went into electrical and solar division. So we have electrical contracting and solar division in California.
Okay,
Um,
cool.
but through opening businesses and going through bankruptcies and learning everything that I learned, I started working with Ryan Stewman out of Dallas. And
Hmm.
so I work with executive coaches now and I actually went to school for EOS certificate. EOS is a entrepreneur operating system, inspired by Traction from Gino Wickman. And what it does is you think of a blueprint for your company. So you think of processes and procedures, or you think of almost like a family tree, right? Like you build out your family tree. Well, I go into companies and I build out that for the company. So I build out that foundation. So I call myself the foundation girl. So we do the blueprint. We do where you're going to be in 10 years, 30 years, wherever it's going to be the end goal. We go through your KPIs. We build out your whole company within your company. So everybody works together. And our goal usually is in about 2 to 3 years. It's to the point that the owner of the company is able to step out of that company to where we have it foundationally set that somebody else can run the company very well, and they can hone in every now and then to kind of touch bases. But it gives that opportunity, because a lot of people that own businesses, we always look for that shiny object, right? Like we build a company and then we're like, oh, well, what else can we do? What else can we do? Right? So it allows that person to build that company and that structure and not have to be there all the time. And they can start branching out and doing different things as well. So that's me in a nutshell. I'm a business coach, life coach. I am pretty much really good at taking all of the chaos and seeing through that chaos, whether it be personal or business, and set foundations and set goals to get you to the next point. So that's me in a nutshell.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I'll go ahead and promote my business. And I've been professionally selling for 32 years. And I know over that time period, it can be difficult to stay motivated. You have to stay motivated come Monday morning. And that Monday morning, you need to be able to send emails, make phone calls, make the follow-up phone calls, and schedule the appointments. But more importantly, be relaxed and ask for the business and believe that you're going to get the business when you ask for it. And that little bit of time between taking action and not taking action, that's what I help with. I help with giving you the fire so you can take action. And by taking more action, you can get more results. That's what I help people do. How do I do it? Simple. I have a book on Amazon. It's called Sales Warrior. And I have a course on Teachable. It's called Sales Warrior Bootcamp Module 1. And it's a 3-day boot camp. It's a lot of fun. It includes instruction, inspiration, audio, video, and worksheets. And it's designed to be taken in 1-hour action blocks, because I know it's hard for people to take 3 days to learn all my wisdom. So I made it easy. All you do is take 1 hour each day until you've completed my course. It's foundational in nature and it can be taken over and over. The great thing about my course is that once you sign up for my course, you get monthly information and inspiration from me, because I want to stay connected to you and I want to continue to inspire you. And there's no added cost to do that. Now, right now, I have my Sales Warrior Bootcamp on sale. My Sales Warrior Bootcamp is normally $3.99. I have it on special for $1.99. And with it, you get my book for free. That's it. Thanks, guys. So, but no, that sounds awesome, Jennifer. So glad to have you on the show. You come to us with so many talents.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, it's hard to name them all. So, so you own skincare business. You you have been a professional bodybuilder. You're an ESO executive coach for Ryan Stewman. I mean, the list is just like miraculous. I would call you a Renaissance woman.
Yeah. And I also last year wrote a book on metabolism, and because I get a lot of questions from women and men for you know where our metabolism works, how everything goes. So I actually wrote a book last year. It's best-selling in Amazon. 3 categories. but it literally lays the foundation without giving you all the BS.
Okay.
So
Excellent.
it's literally like a tactical book.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and I'm working on my second one. So
Good for you.
yeah.
Well, we'll put your links to your book and
Okay.
your website or anything at all. If people want to get a hold of Jennifer, any of our listeners want to get a hold of
Yeah.
Jennifer, we'll be professionally promoting this broadcast on all my different social medias. But again, Jennifer, so awesome to have you on, and
Thank
for
you
you
for
to
having me.
time difference and to be so accommodating to the broadcast. Lots of gratitude here coming from
Thank
Dallas.
you. I appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so you're in Oregon. You're in Salem, Oregon, correct?
I am. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to wrap the show up. Again, so fun having you on, Jennifer. Go ahead and say goodbye to everybody from Schools Out 80s Comedy Story Time.
Mwah. Bye, guys. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. And from Dallas, Texas, cheers, everybody.